Hello, everybody. Catchy1383 with Catchy Gaming, and it's been a while since I made a video of any kind. The last few weekly free games just haven't been really all that noteworthy. On top of that, I've been working a lot. Actually, got to a point where I had to use some unpaid time off to take off from work because they were working us 60 hours a week. And even with that, it still had an issue where I have tendonitis in both my knees. And so I've had to leave my job. And I'm in the process of looking for another one, so I've been busy with that. But I came across this article, and I felt like it needed to be discussed. So, exclusive. Disney just started with its ambitious gaming plans, which is a joke in itself. And I'll just sort of want to address this line right here as a rising force in the gaming industry in reference to Disney, in which it's not. Every single last video game that it's tried to produce via third party has flopped harder than a salmon jumping over Grand Hoover Dam. Let's not forget that the Avengers game, their live service attempt using the Marvel license, failed so utterly that it shut down its servers. Not to mention the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which didn't really appear in terms of anything noteworthy. And the worst part is they wanted to buy EA, which this is the second time this statement has reared its ugly head in terms of the gaming industry. And that would just be a disaster for Disney. I don't even think they could afford to buy EA, even if they wanted to. Even if they somehow managed it, though, it would just... if they want to destroy EA even further than EA's done it themselves, it would definitely happen with Disney's track record of just abysmal performance for the last several years. They haven't had anything really big since 2019 with the Avengers Endgame movie. And honestly, I personally think that was a fluke because that movie is just boring as hell. That's besides the point. They actually did have a gaming development studio, Disney Interactive. Closed it down in 2016 because Bob Iger's a terrible idiot who makes really bad business decisions. He's a boomer chasing trends, and he didn't see that there was a trend in gaming, even though they were making more money. It probably was in part due to the fact that, let's face it, at the time, Marvel's wasn't quite as big, or it was on its rise, and they decided it'd be more worthwhile to license out their IP. And I would suppose, yes, that actually would make more business sense than opening up a whole entire existing studio. But when they already had one to begin with, it just doesn't make any business sense. And let's not forget about LucasArts as well. They had a gaming company there too, and they shut that down. So it's double. It just compounded the whole entire issue. And I want to go back to that statement where Disney is once again a rising force in the gaming industry. No, it isn't. It has completely destroyed their whole entire franchises and their viability to be used in any gaming sphere at this point in time. And it's not just Marvel. Warner Brothers has absolutely just ruined the superhero market along with Marvel. It's not supermarket fatigue so much as bad movie fatigue. And they just drug superheroes through the muck, so to speak. Now, though, I sort of have a hypothesis that they want some of the IPs that EA has, such as Mass Effect. I would imagine they would do to that what they did to Star Wars, turning it into a bunch of TV series and messing it up royally, even though EA already did that, especially with Mass Effect Andromeda. And I wanted to revisit that sort of little bit. I said, can they even afford it with EA having a market cap of $37 billion? Probably not. Not to mention that would be another studio under their belt, which the FTC might have something to say about in this case. So I don't even think it's realistic in any shape or form. But let's face it, this is about them chasing trends. Not only is gaming far more profitable than any movies or any entertainment that Disney has put out or can put it out at this point in time, but they see a potential to earn money through video game movies, which, I mean, they've been around for a really long time. But with the success of the Mario Brothers movie, topping what it did 1.3 billion with a little bit of change, it feels like they're attempting to, like I said, chase a trend that they think is going to pop up. I don't know. Like I said, there's been tons of video game movies in the past, and a lot of them are not good. Actually, most of them aren't. And to be perfectly honest, I have very little hopes for the live action Legend of Zelda movie, even with Shigeru Miyamoto involved, and actually kind of in particular with him being involved because of his reputation for putting gameplay over story, along with the man that, Avi Arad there, who was part of the Marvels, and we've seen what happened to the Marvels. I mean, if he's with the earlier Marvel stuff, yeah, it was okay, but it still wasn't great. So I have some really low expectations, and I kind of have my suspicions this movie won't perform as well, and I'll possibly kill off this whole entire video game movie trend that is potentially issuing forth. Potentially. I think this whole thing with Disney potentially looking at purchasing EA is nothing more than rumor and a pipe dream at best. Like I said, the FTC would probably interfere with that, along with EA just being way too expensive for Disney to buy. I mean, they still potentially have to pay several other billion of dollars for Hulu, let alone a whole entire gaming company. And it reeks of trend chasing without the trend actually even being there. Like I said, the Mario movie, yes, it did well, but I don't think it's going to set up a trend of video game movies as much as people would like that to happen, especially with the quality of writing that's coming through Hollywood these days. Anyways, I just wanted to cover that mainly because I think Disney has made some financially terrible decisions, along with EA as well. And usually I would kind of lean away from this because it might have some political leanings to it that I'd rather avoid for a gaming channel. But in this case, because it's EA, one of the biggest publishers, or I should say most well-known publishers, I felt like it was worth covering. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Have a good one.